Loose end!
No. No more loose ends in Europe. No. It's over.
It's over! Time to get shit-faced!
As you can see with all the shit behind me, I'm ready to go. And this is a fresh edition of I'd Sundays. First time starting on a Monday. I want to make the narrative more exciting because on Sunday we're actually supposed to arrive in LA. Our journey begins today, away from Frankfurt, on our way to Halifax in Canada. That's where we'll be spending the next 3 days too. And then it's off to Boston. And then to LA. Let's see how it all plays out, shall we now?
You don't know what's going on. You've been away for much too long. You can't come back. I think you are still mad. You're out of touch, my baby. My old-fashioned baby. I said, baby, 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 you're out of time. Well, baby, 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 you're out of time. I said, baby, 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 you're out of time. Yes, you all live out. Yes, you all. I said, you're out of there without a doubt.
Just checked in. Now it's off to security. So, just landed in Halifax. The weather is very weird here. The temperature, the pressure, the air pressure. I have very sensitive ears, and I almost died while landing because the pressure was just too fucked up. And the controls were really heavy here. Like Carlos was even scared of riding that suitcase wheel thing.
So scary.
The dog was walking on it.
There was a dog walking the suitcase wheel thing, and Carlos was scared of it.
Smelling every single suitcase.
Yeah, it's smelling every single suitcase. Like,
This was not a fun situation to
if
make
anybody's
cargo.
transporting anything, don't do it in Halifax. Don't do it in Halifax. But I'm glad we made it. I'm glad my ears didn't start bleeding or something.
One more to go.
And that we're all arrived in one piece. So there's that. Let's see where else the journey takes us. It's very humid here and foggy. Fucking foggy. So we just got to our hotel in Halifax. And there was a mouse that just scurried through this room and outside. It was like really scary. Like, let me show you. I have a little fear of rodents. So it came from here, scurried away through this crack in the door. Fuck, man. We're switching to rooms now. Walking the streets of Halifax. There's this charging man over here, okay? The air here is incredibly humid, and it all just has like this general feeling of moisture. Everything kind of smells like wet wood.
Kind of moldy.
Yeah. Moldy facts. Moldy facts. Oh look, there's a church. It's probably a historical important church. I really do enjoy the color scheme this house has going on for itself. I'm just got myself a pizza from my childhood days in Toronto. I always used to eat pizza. It was fucking great. So we're closing up the first evening in Halifax. And if you notice, my right eye left on the screen is a bit swollen up. I have a zit under my eyelid again. It hasn't happened since the premiere. I think it's all the stress with all the packing. Look how awful it looks like. I look like I got into a fight. I'm this beady-eyed dude. This is the Halifax Library. All the people we've talked to take so much pride in it. Well, this is it. Other places some places have historic churches. Halifax has this library. This one. It's their pride and joy. So walking down Halifax, you notice that places have really, really, really weird names. Like take a look at this one. The Split Crow. The Stubborn Goat. Maxwell's Plum. The Toothy Moose. The Wooden Monkey. The Bassicles eat. I think I'm actually gonna eat here. BDI has found some weed. We're getting some weed here legally again, unlike in fuckhead Germany. So good morning, voiders. We've reached our last couple of hours in Halifax. It's been swell. First I was a little shocked and not really used to the place, but I've grown to like it very much. Next step is crossing the border. I got some very badass news that still came up yesterday. First of all, we won the Anaheim Film Awards for Best Horror Film. And second of all, Frenchie, the one and only, got an award for Best Actress in a Drama for Blind at the Best Actor Awards. And this is so crazy with all these awards and laurels where you keep getting. I'm not really believing this because this is my first movie and I can't really grasp that this is actually happening. Just checked in, guys. This is beautiful. Okay, guys. BDI, yeah, it's still banging heavy. Is officially on U.S. territory now. Not U.S. soil yet, but soon we're hitting that plane to Boston.
La 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 la. L.A. spells L.A.
I wasn't talking about that. Flying to Boston. Boston. So I made it in Boston. Yeah, back in the USA. It's a fresh day in Boston. Look, there's the Boston Highway right out of my room. This is a pretty sweet room though. It's quite a mess actually now, but we got shit to do. Not really. Today is actually a day of a lot of nothingness, but we are going to see the new It movie today, and I'm finally gonna review something after 2 months of not reviewing anything. That's very upsetting. Let's see what the outskirts of Boston have to offer. I find these motherfuckers always to be so threatening.
They can be.
Yeah.
But we're supposed to share the path with them.
Yeah, we're supposed to share the path with them.
Oh, God.
Break the knuckles away from the claw. Like that.
Now, there's a lot of water inside the claw, so the trick to not getting wet is to hold it upside down and loosen it up. Did you see all the water come out of that? Now you go sideways, like this, with the bottom part of the claw. And usually that piece will stick to the claw, so you don't have to deal with trying to get that meat out of there.
I find these lights so funny.
Wait.
It's like Carlos.
Wait.
What's that song that Scully used to sing about the bullfrog?
Jeremiah was a bullfrog, was a good friend of mine. Never understood a single word he said, but I helped him drink his wine.
So I'm in Boston. I love saying it like that, Boston. And this is a weird little movie theater called Apple Cinemas, where I'm going to check out It Chapter 2 now. So I'm really anticipating this. I loved part 1, and I'm really expecting it to be badass. So yeah, this is the Boston Apple Cinema. Can't wait to see it. Aww. That was real sweet. I totally got the feels at the end. That was really, really cute. Now let's review this properly. Well, you see me here in these Derry-esque like surroundings on the East Coast. This was very fitting. I gotta say, like, before I say anything at all about this, is that I think we really have a solid adaptation of Stephen King's It now, and not like the kind of campy, wacky little Tim Curry fun that the 90s originally used to be. I know some people really still say that that's like the badass one, but come on. You can't really compare the from the acting and from how tame TV mini-series adaptation to the book is compared to this remake. It's just like so much more superior on every level. I can't even like describe that. I'm not even gonna go there. Yeah, buying some booze while reviewing. But I wanted to mention, it's a solid package, that's for sure. Like, the casting, you couldn't have done a better job with the casting than they already did. You could, like, literally, without having any flashbacks, identify which kid was which adult the second you saw them. Like, the acting and the casting was beautifully done and beautifully executed, that was for sure. Oh my fucking god. Bill Skarsgård definitely killed it as Pennywise, but no, that was what we were all expecting. Like, that performance never had even a shred of doubt in the first one. Like, absolutely convincing. But here's the thing where it generally gets tricky. Yeah, the general tricky thing about it is that part 2 of the source material has more flaws than part 1. And that is like something where the original adaptation failed miserably, because it wasn't just the flaws from the source material that fucked it up. We also had some really shitty casting, some really shitty acting, and some really, really, really corny, toned down versions of the original, and that kind of like put part 2 of the original 90s adaptation right to the grave. That was like its nail in the coffin. And here the part 2 actually really like did well, but here's my problem with the original source material, and that is why no adaptation can like really save it. See, the thing is, with part 2, you have this build-up. You have to get all the adults to come back to Derry, and that already takes up like 1/3 of the movie. So generally, like, when you have this build-up, you want your scares to be solid. You want your scares to be badass. You want to amp them up. You want to make them scarier than everything you had in part 1, if you're going to go for that build-up. And this is where, like, in the book it actually works. It works because you also like get to have these different perspectives. There's a chapter, for example, written through the perspective of Pennywise personally, and I was expecting something like that. A bit more to know about Pennywise, but I don't want to get like off topic too much. The thing is, where they were kind of like, I was expecting them to amp up the scares, make them a little bit more brutal, make them look a little bit more drastic and scary generally. They just kind of just amped up the CGI. And that is like, I think, my biggest issue with part 2. That it was just like your straight up CGI fest at some point. I mean, that fucking naked old lady chasing down Jessica Chastain's character. Beverly, yeah, her name's Beverly. That was fucking ridiculous. Look at The Shining. Look at, like, Dr. Sleep. Those are CGI effects that actually worked. These seemed a bit too comical for me, I gotta admit. But that's also the thing, and I understand why a lot of people have issues with part 2 here, simply because of this comical CGI thing going on. But the thing is, for me, like, a lot of people expect it to be like this badass, scary-ass, genuinely scary movie, which I never saw it to be. Like, even while I was reading the book, it for me always seemed to be like this horror fairy tale, and that is what I expected of this new adaptation. That is exactly what I got. So I am actually like totally happy. This is like a movie that, like the 2 movies, I see them as one movie, did what they set out to do. A beautiful little horror fairy tale about a bunch of outcast kids. And I like that. I like that a lot. And I kind of said the exact same thing about part 1 after I saw it. So I'm going to say the exact same thing about part 2 after I saw it. If you are expecting a genuinely scary film, this is not it. Go watch Martyrs. Go watch Inside, the original versions, mind you. Or High Tension. Those are fucking scary films, but don't go watch Stephen King's It. It's a horror fairy tale. Nothing more, nothing less. A lot of people have complained, and I have to admit that they aren't really necessarily wrong when they say that the movie generally feels very long with its 2 hour and 45 minute runtime. And the fact that that's the case is that the middle is like kind of too constructed. It's really like each character has their little trip to memory lane and then is encountered with their own personal fear. So in the middle of the movie, you have kind of like about 45 minutes, a straight up anthology of your character's fears just presented right at you. And that feels a bit stretched out, and it does feel a bit too long. But it does work. It wasn't really much different in the book to begin with anyway. And I don't know. I'm kind of complaining too much about a movie that I actually really enjoyed. So I'm going to leave it at that. Both It adaptations from 2017 and 2019 are very solid, good works. And don't believe what all the bastards say who are expecting something truly, genuinely scary, because mainstream horror movies just are not. And enjoy this little horror fairy tale because it really ain't bad at all. I am in a very frustrating position at the moment. In about 13 minutes, the screening of our film Blind is going to be screened in Indianapolis at the Horror Hound Convention. And I'm here in Boston. It's the second screening of our movie ever. It's the first time ever our movie is going to be screened in a totally different city in front of a bunch of strangers, and I am not there. And it's awful. It's like your well, it's like there's a sports game of like this, and your team's like playing and shit, but you won't even know the result of the sports game even when it's over. It's Saturday morning, like about 8 a.m. and I couldn't sleep. It's really not every day that you wake up in a city you've never been before And the movie you produced is nominated for an award and is being screened at one of the most historic theaters on the planet. And I am losing my shit entirely. Today, we are going to the Capitol Theater in Boston. And we're screening our fucking movie there. Yay! I just got dressed for the awards show. I'm looking flashy. I'm looking fly. Walking through here. Get this classical vibe going on. It's a cute theater, that's for sure. So the Ando Film Festival is officially over. We saw some great shorts. We saw some great movies. And guys, you're probably wondering if we won or not. I'm putting my serious face on to tell you, we won! Ando, best thriller and film noir is Blind. We made it. Guys, we fucking made it. Hell yeah. So Voiders, it's the next day after this award-winning evening, and we are finally going home. I can't believe it. It's been a ride. Now we're returning. We left LA without any awards at all, and we're coming back with 4. Yay! So here I am watching the new billboard live. It's actually there. There. The new fucking billboard. So guys, we're back to doing this. And I couldn't be more happy. Back home. I feel like I came back from the war, to tell you the truth. It's just an amazing feeling. This is like the first time in my life I feel like I ever came back home to anywhere again. So I think this is where we're gonna end today's Sunday. From LA, where we thrive organically. Let's recap all the awards we won with Blind. And hot fucking damn, we're back in LA. Thriving organically. Depressing manically.